How you doing out there? I'd like to start by acknowledging that there's three types of people who are watching this video right now. There's the people who know me, there's the people who don't know me, and there's the people out there who don't give a shit. And hey, it's all good. Um, I go by Wesley Jammies on Facebook, if you care. If you don't, that's awesome too. I uh, I grew up in Northern California. I graduated in '01 from high school. See, I had a MySpace page back when they did that. That was fun because you could put music on your homepage. Um, I was a slow adapter to Facebook. I didn't quite understand what the brouhaha was all about, but I eventually made it over to Facebook, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting place to be. Like, you get a front row seat to everybody's thoughts, desires, insecurities, dreams, and wishes, and um, there's good thoughts and there's bad thoughts out there. There's all sorts of different people to choose from. Um, you know, I wanted to write a book for the longest time, and also had the urges to be a public speaker. And I don't know how realistic those two aspirations are for me. Uh, I so I think I came across YouTube as a way of just having a creative outlet. Um, I just haven't had the balls to get up on the camera and say anything. That camera shyness. I'm sure those of you who have ever put a camera in front of your face and then realized, you know, you were just about to record and stopped doing it. I'm sure you understand where I come from, but I realize that I do this at great personal risk of financial, legal, or potentially other stupid consequences. And when I say this, I mean doing a video, getting in front of people and giving your opinion on certain things, and that's kind of less of the purpose of me even opening up this video and doing something like this. More of the drive for me is that even a good phrase, is kind of a video diary. I know that when I was younger, I did probably 3 or 4 different diaries. I started them, wrote a couple of pages, a couple entries maybe, and ended up throwing them away, for whatever reason. I either moved or became super self-conscious. I read into something. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, a video diary is pretty interesting. If you take a look at Facebook right now and kind of the emergence of like Snapchat, you can kind of see a love child between the two, I think. I can foresee a future where social media is like a video sharing thing, and actually like live video. I think that's kind of interesting because Facebook Live is a thing now. I didn't want to do Facebook Live for various different reasons, but I really don't want Facebook to own my content. I mean, who can, right? I put it on fucking Google servers, right? They own my content, right? So Facebook, but Google, yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I'm hypocritical, like anybody else in this world. So, yeah. So I guess what kind of led me to here, I don't know. I started doing Facebook back in '09. Didn't really know how to use it. Didn't really know how to use it during 2010 either. Started to kind of understand it a little bit in 2011, and then somewhere around December of 2012, which is an interesting date that aligns with the Mayan calendar apocalyptic theory. If you're into that thing, I'll speak on it real quick. Um, they say that the world was going to end. That's how some people read into the apocalypse, but other people read into the apocalypse being a massive awakening. So, small caveat there. It's interesting though that I took part in this thing called a friend bomb on Facebook, where you post to your timeline. You say, if anybody out there thinks like I do, or agrees with me in that we believe that like-minded people should connect, and also unlike-minded people should connect. We should friend everybody. That's the purpose of the friend bomb, to friend everybody. So took part in that back in somewhere around December. I think it actually might have been before December of 2012. It was probably somewhere in that year. But yeah, through that, got to watching various different documentaries and reading different articles, and watching and reading people's opinions online and that sort of thing about not just current events but past events and possibly future events even. But you kind of go down the rabbit hole with the knowledge of the world. You can really dive into any kind of tree of thought. Conspiracy theory minded, or mainstream minded, or scientifically minded, or religious minded. I mean, whatever, you can dive into so many of them. But I kind of latched onto the conspiracy movement. They called it truthers, yeah. And the purpose of that was to spread what the truther movement deemed as truth, which is interesting because truth is subjective, depending on who's saying is what's true. So anyway, you get into that whole I don't want a blanket statement anything, so sucks, but you get into the whole 9/11 talk, and but like I said, you go down to the rabbit hole. So if you go deep enough, I think you can tie it all the way back to the Roman Empire, but along the way you pick up different things. You pick up the Operation Paperclip and MK Ultra and the Federal Reserve banking system, and how it was established in 1913, right around the time when the Titanic sank, and which was interesting because some of the most powerful people were on that boat. And prior to that, if you look into the Rothschilds, you find out that their family was money changers back in the, I believe it was the early 1800s, maybe late 1700s. Anyway, this is a long time ago, but you go down the rabbit hole. And so I shared a bunch of this stuff on Facebook, and it was interesting things to consider. And whether it be the actual truth or just my truth or the truther movement's truth, they seemed interesting to at the very least discuss, entertain. But that stuff kind of leads to a massive divide in your personal life. I'm sure that those out there who've gone down that path also understand what I mean. But with that, comes with the control, the massive control of population, how the media does it, and government, and the role that religion plays, and And so I've been sharing that stuff for the last few years, and enter current events. Um, perfect timing, I guess. The political arena right now is just ripe with just all sorts of political energy. It's a great time to be alive, really, if you think about it. I find it kind of interesting that on one side of the aisle, everybody's calling for you to elect this candidate so that the other candidate doesn't win. And on the other side of the aisle, it's the same thing: elect me so and so doesn't win. And yeah, and even third party candidates, they're like, elect me so they don't win. So it's pretty interesting. But I don't vote. I think I registered a long time ago, but I've always thought that it was a sham charade. I don't know, just something about, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've always had qualms about it. But what's interesting about is that what happened during the Democratic primaries, right? Like the big thought is that the Democratic Party stole the election from Bernie. It's pretty interesting. I see a lot of people sharing the stuff on Facebook, and like I said, I think I registered a long time ago, but I don't actively vote. So it's funny that people are sharing all this information that Hillary and the Democratic Party really kind of blocked Bernie. But so I would vote for Gary Johnson if I was going to vote. Jill Stein is also a wonderful, wonderful candidate right now. I wish that Gary Johnson would take Jill Stein as his vice president. Nothing against Bill Weld. Nothing against the vice president that Jill Stein just announced today. I can't remember his name, but he's a longtime human activist. So it's exciting to see a lot of political energy going towards third-party candidates, but just the same, they're over there saying, vote for us so and so doesn't win, And oh hell, I'd say the same thing, vote for them, vote third party, don't vote mainstream. But it's enough about politics. Right before I got on the video, though, I was on my Facebook feed, and I kind of wanted to ask you guys, you ever get lost in a stream of fight videos from like media takeout, or it's a World Star? Yeah, I mean, I don't go there specifically, but I'll watch a funny video, and then if you let it play out, then the next video plays, and then if you let that one play out, the next one, and you can just go down a line, and oh my goodness, I saw some ones today that really kind of disturbing. But it's human nature, just the same. You can watch a fight video, you can get on a stream of fight videos, you can also get on a stream of cute puppy videos, cute kitten videos. Oh boy, they're ripe. Cat videos are ripe on the internet. But I like the internet, There's people on my Facebook feed who they get on there and they'll say, I'm so sick of the negative energy I see in my feed. That in itself is negative energy, So that's interesting. But they'll even go so far as to say, I'm going to take a break from Facebook. And this isn't directed towards anybody, by the way. If you take this personally, like I'm going at you, then hey, I'm just coming off the top right now. But yeah, I find it interesting that people go on and say, I'm going to take a break. It's like, if you're going to take a break, just go. You don't need to tell me, you know. I also find it funny, like, you'll see people, I don't know, it's weird for me. I just can't get in the selfie picture game. I tried. I've taken, you know, you may not believe me, but I've taken a number of selfie photos, and I hate the way I look at the camera. I hate the way I look at in the screen right now. You know, I don't know what it is. You may like it. I don't like it. Um, but so I'll see pictures of people, selfies of people, and they'll have this like, you know, really cute look on their face, or like, or even innocent, or just, you know, I don't know, you know what I mean. When people take selfies, they have this weird look on their faces, and then they'll have some weird comment on it, like happy, like happy today's Wednesday, you know. I don't know. It just seems so weird. I'm not saying it's good, bad, or anything. I'm just saying that it's weird looking, and it's something that I can't do. So, but I guess I can do videos. Um, I'll be honest with you. In the first couple of minutes of this video, it's pretty nervous. It feels it feels awkward. You know, sitting in front of a little shitty hotel right now. I'm sitting in a hotel room, a shitty hotel room, as you can tell by the microwave behind me. And so I'm sitting kind of close to the door. I feel self-conscious about people walking back and forth, but, you know, whatever. I feel self-conscious about the people next door hearing me, or the people below me hearing me. Like, why does it even matter? Like I said, like, I wanted this to be some sort of a video diary. Yeah. And for that matter, today's date is August 1st of 2016. So my birthday's coming up. It's in October. I'm going to be 34. And like I said, I've started a couple of diaries back in the day and abandoned them. But I hope to post this video online, and at least on YouTube. I might share it on Facebook. And that's where it'll live. It'll live on those servers. Hopefully for a long time. What would be really interesting is to be able to look back on a video like this, say 40, 50, 60 years from now, and listen to myself, listen to my voice, listen to my ideas about the current events, about things that I'm experiencing right now in my reality. If I'm so bold enough to share everything candidly, I don't think I can. I work for a company, so I can't be as candid as I want. That being said, I had a Facebook friend say once, more than once, probably a number of times, that anytime you feel like you can't say something, just at least voice something, you're being oppressed. And I'm not sure, I don't know if that's exaggeratory or if that's truth. I lean towards truth, but, you know, some might call that exaggeratory. But it's true though, right? Like, shouldn't we be able to say whatever we want without repercussions, without the threat of repercussions? And I say all that because I've seen videos get shared online where people say the wrong thing, offend the wrong person, the video goes viral, they find out who the person is, and it makes it all the way back to their employer. And while I would hate for that to happen, it would be a tragedy. It really would. If I say the wrong thing and it makes it back to my employer, you know, HR department or whatever, while that would be tragic, I don't think I'd be ashamed. I don't think I probably would worry, you know, about the future. That's what we do. That's a human thing. There's no getting away from that. But I wouldn't be ashamed of it. For those of the people that know me, grew up with me, ever shared a classroom with me before, or ever shared a bedroom or a kitchen table, or ever shared a family photograph. I've always been the one, for whatever reason. I've always been the one to say bullshit, even if it's not bullshit. Just I remember arguing with a substitute teacher in 6th grade. His argument, his statement, was that if the sun were to go out completely, just poof, our world, we would die immediately. And I raised my hand and I argued with him, I think until he sent me to detention, that we wouldn't die immediately. There would be, a small gap in time. We wouldn't just fall over. That must be tough for a teacher. A 12-year-old kid raising his hand and splitting hairs. That's what I was doing. I mean, come on, we all know we won't survive with the sun, okay? But that's got to be frustrating, having a 12-year-old kid raise his hand and not back down from an argument, which, if you allow the hairs to be split is a valid argument. But, if you step back and look at it from a 34-year-old perspective, you're like, oh, what a stupid fucking 12-year-old. But, yeah, like I said, if you've ever shared a classroom with me, you know that I always was the one that questioned it. I'm a why guy, as one of my old bosses put it. I gotta know why. So I guess that's kind of where I've been led, this path that I've been led down. I guess, with the friend bomb and the truther movement and everything, I'm a why guy, so I dive down the rabbit hole. And, I'm not impervious, so I'm just as susceptible as anybody else as picking up false information. So hell, what do I know? Shit. Things that I think that I've learned over the last few years. Who am I to say? Money might be real, for all we know. They might actually have a tangible thing backing it, besides the promise of military intervention, if, But anyway, I just wanted to do a short video, prove it to myself that I could do it, continue the conversation, see if I can keep it going. Right now I feel like I'm running out of steam, so I'm not going to drag it on any longer. I hope you were able to hear me this whole time. It's been about 25 minutes so far, and I look forward to providing more videos in the future. Yeah, fuck Trump, fuck Hillary.